Hello, Floss 2. It's Monica with Peaceful Times, and this is episode 19. Yep. Today's April 6th, 2024, and tomorrow is my 23rd anniversary. So, we have been together over 30 years, but it's our actual 23rd anniversary. So last year, when we got married, it was like 70 degrees out in April. It was gorgeous. It's a beautiful sunny day today, but it's still cold, like in the 40s. Might get up to 50, like usually in the later afternoon. But I'm on spring break, and I only have one day left. Tomorrow's my last day, so it makes me sad how quickly this week went by. Last week we were on our mission trip to Arkansas, and Lonsdale, Arkansas is where there's a camp called Spring Lake. Spring Lake? Yeah, Spring Lake Camp. And they did a bunch of different projects and things. I will put a little link below in the box so that you can see our Mission Impossible 2024 trip. You can go on there, and it just lists, it goes to the Facebook page where there's lots of pictures and some of the kids that they interviewed and things. So it's kind of fun if you want to give it a whirl. You can look and see and enjoy seeing all the different things that we had worked on creating and continuing to do at this camp. We go through like 4 different camps. Every 4 years we go to a different one, and a lot of times the contractors will go in the week or two before. There was a couple of different cement foundations laid, so there was an entire house built. All the sides went up. There's even a porch out front, and so there's the columns, the roof, everything. So the inside, there was 4 bedrooms that shared a bathroom, so 2 bathrooms. In that inside, they've gotten some of the plumbing done and the bathroom pieces set in. They still had to put the toilets in, but the showers were in and things, so kind of neat. They still had drywall and all that kind of stuff to do, but we also created a wash shed. Some of the kids put up fence, big long wrought iron fence that went, on and on. I'm trying to think of all the different projects that were being done. They made these 3-story bunk beds, so they're 3 beds high. My daughter worked on those after she got done working on a pavilion for a grill, like a grill pavilion. So it's kind of just had like the foundation was poured, and they put up the columns, and then the roof, the trellises, and then the shingles and all that for the roof. And we ended up using it, which is kind of fun because I'm on the kitchen crew. So we were able to cook all our burgers and things out there, which we fed 250 people 3 times a day. So it was a lot of work, but super fun. And every day you definitely got your 10,000 steps in. We would all be looking at our phones, or people with the Apple Watches, they would look at those, and you could see how many steps you'd put in. And it wasn't for the faint of heart. You definitely got in your steps, well over your 10,000 steps, probably double for some people. Anyway, so on to stitching. That was fun and done, and we had warm weather while we were there-ish. I mean, it was better than here. My daughter got real red, got some sunburnt the one day, and I got red, but it was not sunburned at all. And it was nice and tan the next day. So in my previous videos, I talked about how much I hate finishing, and part of it's just because I'm not good at it, and I haven't tried doing a lot of it. But I do have some fully finished pieces, so I'll show you those. I was going to go through and start with some of my springtime or Eastery things that I had done. This is not all of them, but just a few of them. So Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet created the stitch cards, and this was her very first stitch card, and I had done a couple of these. So this one I just finished, with some pretty fabric on the back. This was like strips these were little strips that I just sewed together, and I stuffed the whole thing, and then I whip stitched it. I whip stitched it shut here. So that's just kind of, you know, if you can kind of see the sort of the stitches on there. I just would rather, I'm just not one, you could do the same thing here and whip stitch it in the back. I just do it on the bottom usually because that's where they usually sit. You don't look at that. This one, I just grabbed a piece of fabric and ripped it and then, you know, gathered it and shoved it in underneath. And again, I used some of Lori Holt's fabric on the back. This is a little chick. This one was also from it. I don't know. I think it was a quilt block that was the fourth piece because usually they come with 4 different pieces to them. That's going to be one of the giveaways today. I'm going to give one of those away for coming up for summer. And then this one I just did a pink backing. Again, Lori Holt's fabric. So these are just little tulips. I love tulips. So I would have, where did I whip stitch this one? Oh, here on the top. I did this one on the top. So you can kind of see. It's not as clean as the actual sewed sides. It's a little more gummy, a little less pretty. But anyway, so there's those. Then I had, this was by Tiny Modernist, the Happy Easter Wreath, and that's just what that's called. I don't know if you can see. I bought a hoop and I painted it. So, and then I put a bow at the top. I just made this bow with some ribbon that I had. It's kind of washed out. It's almost got a yellowy look to it. This is really bright pink. I mean, almost bright, dark bright pink. And here it looks, to me on the monitor, it looks dusty rose, and it's definitely not dusty rose. It's bright pink. So I don't know. It's probably washed out or with the monitor and stuff. So okay, so some of the finishes that I actually did. The first one is Home Sweet Home, and this is a Brenda Gervais pattern. I did it on 36 count vintage homespun by R&R Reproductions, and I just used the called for floss. Now I found this frame at the, not the dollar store, at Goodwill. Our Goodwill always has sales, so this $1.50 frame was like 75 cents, which I thought you can't beat that. And as you can see, I've got some, you know, all my frames are wood, so I've got some of my son over there in the military. Those are all like more barn wood. They're really unfinished. Where this is finished, this is very, I'll say like 80s, 90s country, you know, whatever. But we have a lot of wood that matches this because it's Amish furniture that we have, and it's been finished in this same oak, you know, finish. So it matches my stuff. It might be old. I don't care. That's how we do things. So it'll be just fine. So that's a finish. I was excited. I did lace it. So now I was really afraid to lace. I do have one that I did lace. It was a Lori Holt It's So Emma pattern called So She Did. And it's got a sewing machine on it. And I laced the back of it, but I didn't do a very good job. And I must not have watched videos very well, because once I watched a couple videos, I was able to zip, 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 you know, this, and it looked actually really nice. So on my Instagram, if you go to my Instagram, just Monica_Gum, I do have like a little tutorial that just shows a reel that's got where I started from ironing it to using batting and the sticky paper, you know, that they use as, oh gosh, what's it called? Sticky board. You can get it different places. Joann sells it. Hobby Lobby sells it. You can get it at Fat Quarter Shop. Any of those places sell it. So you just cut it down to the size you need, and then you can stick your batting on it. And then I trimmed down the piece that I have here of the vintage homespun, and then actually did the lacing on the back. You do the long sides first, and then you go back and do the top sides. And I've got a ton of quilting thread. So some of the stuff that I don't use much of, I just grabbed that and just pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled out. And sometimes, like on the bigger one that I did, I didn't have enough to finish. But I really found that once I tightened it up well and I just knotted it off there, I could finish it with another smaller piece and it worked just as fine. So I didn't notice that I had to have the whole thing in one big piece of thread. So, and I know there's ways that they say of continuing to just let it go, but the way I was tying off and things, I don't know. Again, I'm just new at this, so I'm sure I'll get better as I go and find other things and other ways that I like it. So there's the first one. Now then another one that I have that I started was this is from Primrose Cottage, and it is ABC is what it's called. It's A and then the word B, B-E-E, and then C, because it's like a sampler, but it's also got B's, so it's ABC. I just rolled up this fabric to see if I liked it on there, to see if this would be a good thing. This I've done. So this part is all, and you can see I laced the back of it. Now I know you can just glue it down with hot glue, and I have no problem with that. That's all I ever used to do, was just hot glue it down. But then I thought, I'm going to try the lacing, and I actually like the lacing. It keeps it so even, and it pulls it all down. You can see how it's not fluffy. It's not thick and bulky. I mean, it just really flattens it like a nice thin package. So, and then this is just a big chunk of fabric that I'm going to have to see if I even like it. So I just was testing it out on here to see, do I center it? This was just one of those trays that you get at Target in the dollar bin. I mean, it was like $3 or $5, but that's what it is. And I just thought, oh, it would look cute on there. You could set it up, I could set it up this way, or you could hang it, or just have it laid down and still be cute, or lay back on something. So I don't know, but I just kind of like this. So I thought, well, that would maybe be a finish for that one. And then the other one is, I found this frame, and it's just a normal, let's see, what size is it? It's your 11 by 17 frame. And it's normally $37.99 because it's solid wood. And I got it for $6.24. And this was at Hobby Lobby. So, and this is what I put my bloom in. And I think it worked out pretty good. So again, I laced this one, and I even was able to use the regular back on it so that I don't have to add extra things that already came with these to hang it. So I kind of like that idea. So I'm not hating lacing it, and I'm not hating finishing quite as much now that I've started it and have been working on it. All right, so the next one that I have is a finish. This is Thanksgiving, and it is from Twin Peaks Primitives. And I did do the bottom part. So it had those bright colors on the bottom. They're like greens, blues, not greens, purples, blues, and then that red. And it looks like a brick red from here, but it's not. It's like a bright, bright, bright red. And the purple and blue is bright purple and blue for the berries or the grapes or whatever it is. So I didn't know if I'd like it or not, but I don't hate it. So I think I'm going to turn this into a pillow. It's kind of that size, so hang on one sec. Okay, so this was stitched on 32 count natural light linen by WIPGO. So it's a very thick, as you can see. I mean, it's pliable. I didn't mind stitching on it at all, but I did it 2 threads over 2 over 2. Because it was 32 counts. So that's ends up, I usually always do 32 counts, always 2 over 2. Sometimes 30 count is also usually 2 over 2. 36, depending on the weave, you could do 1 over 2 or 2 over 2. So there's that one that's finished. All right. So now I'll go to my whips. So the first one I've got is Every Opening Flower by Brenda Gervais. I started this back on, I think, New Year's Eve. I am stitching this one on Winter Brew 36 count by R&R Reproductions. The last time I showed it, the last time I had a lot of this done, but I didn't have some of these letters finished, and I didn't have this motif done, and I didn't have any of the inside of the beehive or the bees done. So I'm still on the C up here, and I need to go back through and do the like smearing off, but I'm going to do that at the end, you know, smearing off crosses in each of those boxes at the very end of it. So, okay. Then I also worked on, for a little bit, this is a pattern I got from Mama Witch Cross Stitch on Etsy, and it's called Possum Song. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of stitching this one. I haven't had a lot of fun doing it. There's 1,000 different colors for such a small little thing. There's all these. I'm using all the DMCs. And there's a lot of changes constantly. So let me move my needle minder out of the way a little bit. This is how much I have done. So not very much, but it takes forever to do not very much because there's, you know, in here there's probably 10 different threads. So it is what it is. Okay. All right, the next one I worked on was, this was a chart made back in 2020 from It's So Emma. It's one of the Fat Quarter Shop Stitch October, I guess. So you use a bunch of Lori Holt's little stitch cards and some of her other, like I think, this one I think is actually on like a winter one, and it's like a cup of hot chocolate. And then a couple of these others are from the actual Halloween one that she had. And then this one might be from just another one because it's more or less quilt block. And then I want to say this, that might be from one too. This maybe, and something else is from, like there's a harvest, like a little girl scarecrow kind of thing, and I think maybe it comes from that. I don't remember, but anyway. So once you get those different patterns, you can put them together, and then they give you a free, I think you also get the free like layout, chart layout. And then you use all the patterns, and it's stitched on 25 count Lugana called Overcast by Lori Holt for Swigart. This is what I worked on the bus. So I got the whole cat done, and then I finished the jack-o'-lantern, did the cat, and started in on the October 31st on the bus. Now I didn't do much stitching on the way home. I mostly did it on the way down. I was pretty tired and slept a lot and chatted with my daughter on the way home. So, all right. Now another one that I did, this was another um, chart that I bought off Etsy, and this is called Goat, and it's by the Stitch Patterns. And they have tons of these, but the baby goat was just so cute. Now I'm making this for my son's girlfriend, and I just am using an 18 count Aida from, I want to say I got this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby, I think, sells the flatter square pieces of, um, although that might be the linen. Since this is Aida, maybe they sell this too. I don't know. It's one of those two places. Those are the only two places I bought linen. So here's my yummy colors, and this is my start. It's actually a whole page worth. Doesn't look like it, but I did go off the page a little and start on the next page to finish the eye because it looked kind of silly to just have half the eye there. So again, this ear is like 6 different color. No, it's three or four of the same exact colors. It's supposed to be more, and I'm not talking the whole ear like with the browns. I'm just talking the pink was like 3 or 4. But when you look at them here, you can see that, oops, let's get this one out too. You can see that they're all the same shade, the same color. And then you get into these, and there's 3 of them that are the same. And then these are very similar, 2 or 3 of those. And then there's 3 whites that are different shades of off-white. So, I don't know. And it's on white. So, anyway, I don't think you get nearly the amount of variation, but I still think it looks good. And I really like using the 18 count Aida. It's so nice to just have one block to look at. And I think it works up and looks really nice. So there's that. Now, one of my own charts that I started this week. Well, I started it previously, but I really started actually getting somewhere this week. It's just a scarecrow. We'll see where it goes. But I thought he's so cute. And these are the colors I'm using. So he's not quite done, but he's getting there. I liked him. And then my WIPGO calls for April are simply Little House Needleworks Lantern Lane. Sorry for the glare. Everybody says that, but it's like, well, then just take it out. And I haven't done too much on this recently. Do you think I should change the white to a brighter white to make it actually look like snow? I'm using the called for, this is used brick, I think. Let me see. Nope. Lancaster red. And mine is pretty solid. So the one that they use, the one that's on the chart, looks like it's a lot more mottled. Mine is pretty well, looks like a solid. So unfortunately, no matter how you do it on here, it still reads as a solid. It's like this, the green on here is, what is it? Pea pod. There's pea pod, and then there's, yeah, no, just the pea pod. And for the green, here and then the green on the tree. But there's a lot of modeling with this one. Not so much in the house though, but that's okay. So I'm in hopes of really doing a lot more on that one. Please link below, please, not link below, please comment below if you think I should change out to a little bit more white thread on here. I really think it's not bright enough. So they use grits, no, fawn, and I'm thinking grits would be better. It just doesn't really show up very well. There's two. There's fawn and I thought there was another one in there. Maybe not. I'll have to look at the pattern and see. There's fawn and oh, eggshell, which I must have stole and put in something else from here. And eggshell is a little bit lighter, but not much. I just don't think you, I mean, you can see the difference between that's eggshell and fawn is over here around the casing of the door. So anyway, I just knocked off my needle minder. But the needle's still on it. Woohoo! So anyway, I don't know. The other one that got called was Heartstring Samplery. Heartstring Samplery. And it's called Coffee Quaker. First, I drink the coffee. Then I do the things. So I haven't worked on this one in a while. I have a nice start, but I feel like it's going to take me forever. I don't know why. I'm yawning. So I'm using the called for DMCs, and it is, I love this color. Yeah, it's smoky. I think it's called Smoky White, Smoky Mountains, something. I'll find out. But I just love Vintage Smoky White by, I don't know who it's by, but it's a 32 count, and it's quite lovely. So I'm using 2 threads over 2. 2 over 2. Okay. Now the last couple things I have are things that I'd like to start and then some haul. So I have the maker and the mender. Upside down, can't see it. And it says, the needle be it though so slim and slender is both a maker and a mender. So, you know, again, Brenda Gervais, who doesn't love all her stuff. I have some of the floss. I was waiting on some other. And then this one I'd like to do too. This is the Spring ABCs. I was waiting on some floss. I was using DMC conversion where I could, but there was definitely some, I think it was weeks. No, all Classic Colorworks. It's either Classic Colorworks or the DMC conversion. So I'm waiting on some Classic Colorworks, and I might start that. This one I'm so scared to start. I've got Beautiful Beige, 28 count, because it's supposed to, you're supposed to use a mushroom. I don't know. We'll see. The threads seem kind of light, but they'll probably be all right on there. I don't know if you can see. They look dark on the monitor. Sorry. But anyway, it's 1/1, the whole thing. 1/1. Pay attention to that before you buy something, because I love this pattern. But I've seen a lot of floss tubers give this away because they start it and they hate it. So we'll see. I should try it, see if I like it, give it to one of you if I don't. Okay. So this month, I'm in the Fabric of the Month Club from Farmer's Attic. Love them, love them, love them. And this month they sent us Golden Harvest. Very pretty. It's all Atomic Ranch. Um, different types of fabric from Atomic Ranch. But this is a great neutral. This can be used on about anything. So it's 36 count Golden Harvest. Um, they always send, they always send a cute little gift with. That is something that I had out and now I can't find. Right here. This was, they gave us some floss bobbin rings. And these little rings, they're beautiful spring colors. And they're like just screwed. You screw, you put all your floss on there and then you just kind of screw it back together. Haven't used them yet. They're a little bit smaller than I normally use. I usually just go to the dollar store and get these rings. These rings are a little bit bigger. I guess they're fairly similar. Yeah. These are a little bit smaller for sure. But I like the big. Are these the large? These are the 2-inch. The 2-inch, or I think there's a 2.5 or 3-inch. And I like the bigger ones better for, a lot of patterns that have a ton of, if you only have 4 or 5 threads, then these will be great. So they're kind of just tiny though, but they're kind of neat. I mean, what a great extra to throw in. So that was awesome. Oh yeah, I have one other haul. No, two other haul. I ordered okay. I ordered the Memorial Day pattern previously, and I showed that in a haul that I got before. But these are the threads that go with that. I think there's a second pattern too, because it was a hands-on design, patriotic collective. So there should be another pattern. I think I looked at the pattern and didn't care for it, so that's why I didn't get it. But these are Sulky 50-yard spools. 1 strand equals 2 strands of floss. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to use 2. You can just use the 1. So you definitely would want to put it on 32 count or bigger or smaller, whatever. Not 36, not 40, not 46, not 56 or 52 or any of those other bigger ones. The bigger thread, but smaller count, if that makes sense. And you could use those for that. And then I got my favorite pattern from my favorite movie. This was so cool. This is Talk to Me Goose. Now I saw this on Virginia Girl. What is her? Yeah, I think I'll link it down below. But on her floss tube, she had done this, and I just loved it, or had the pattern, and I was like, oh, I have to have that. So I ordered it from 123 Stitch. Um, I'm not sure. I know I have some of this fabric, if I'll put it on that. When I was looking at this, I thought that this fabric was going to work. Well, it's kind of dark, and it's a lot grayer than I thought. So I don't know. But the called for thread, or called for floss, is peacoat. And peacoat is actually like a real bluish greeny, kind of, hold on, let me take it out of the package. Here we go. And this is by Lakeside. It's 40 count Tundra. 40 count Tundra by Lakeside. It came from 123 Stitch. But this wouldn't, let's put it on this side. Let's take it out of the plastic. You can't see anything. Goofy plastic. Okay, it's beautiful. Beautiful color. It's almost like a real teal. It's coming across dark on the screen, but it's really not. But I think it would actually work on here, to be honest. It's not bad. I guess it depends on how I want to finish it, fully finish it in the end. Because if I'm going to use the blue camo, this isn't going to work on there as well. I mean, it might. It does. I mean, from here to here, it looks okay. I really like the lighter gray, the blue gray. It's more, I mean, they did a really like almost a light blue. It just says the model was stitched on 32 count linen. Oh, it is Rainy Day. Atomic Ranch Fabrics, Rainy Day. So, what do you think? Is it going to work on here? Do I need it to be bluer? I mean, they're navy. You know, Top Gun is navy. Everybody thinks it's Air Force. Air Force is blue. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But I would love your thoughts as to whether or not that's going to work. Okay. And then the other haul I got was, this is from a store online, at an Etsy store called TarHeel, TarHeel. Now I think it's from two different people run the shop, by the way it sounds. And so I ordered some more thread. Some of it was the stuff that I was talking to you about that I was missing and needed for some of these other projects. Then I got a couple of patterns. The first one is Spring Doxology, and it says, praise God from whom all blessings flow. And I like that. I've never seen Sweet Wing Studio. I've never heard of them, but it's a beautiful little pattern. I really like the cover. And then this is from Country Cottage Needleworks. It's Sunflowers in Summer. Now, our house is like a greenish color now, so that's why I loved this. I swear I bought this pattern, but I cannot for the life of me find it. But there's another pattern I can't find as well. And it's called Spring is in the Air or something like that. And it's an airplane with some chicks flying the airplane in the air. I don't know. I swear I have it. I can't find it. So anyway, I rebought this. It was on sale. They sent a very cute little thank you bag. So this is kind of fun. You could put some needles in here. You could put floss in here. You could put, I don't know, all sorts of things that you might have to travel with. A little pair of scissors. And the last thing I bought from them was Teresa Kogut's market release Serenity. And it's a really beautiful chart. I thought if nothing else, you could do, it's kind of band-like. You could just do this, and then you could do the top side and then put the top again on the bottom going the opposite way. If you wanted to just do the top or the middle, those deer are so cool. Elk, whatever they are. And then the bottom is super pretty too with the little trees and the Serenity. I don't know. I'm sure I'll do the whole thing first, and then I can take bits and pieces of it for different designs later if I want. But it's so pretty. Of course, I'm a sucker for the quilt in the background. That's pretty much all long-armed, which I love. That's my jam. All right. I think that's it. Let me see. those are the last bits and pieces here. So, all right. Well, thanks for sticking around. Oh, I do have 2 giveaways. I haven't done giveaways in a while. So the first one is this cute little charm that you can put on a bag, project bag. It's a cat. Who doesn't love a black and gray cat? I had an all black cat that my best friend took, and she still has him to this day. And the other one is Stitch Card E from Lori Holt, and it's So Emma. And this is more of a summary type one, but it has the 4 different patterns, and you can put them all together, or you can make them separate like I did. It's the same kind of thing that I made with these little pillows. I think they're like 2.5 by 5 is what these say. Something like that. Anyway, the stitch count is 32 by 32, each of them. So that's number 2. So comment number 1 if you'd like the first one, number 2 if you want the second one, or 1 and 2. So you can do both of them if you like both of them. I'm at 405 subscribers right now, and if we can get to 500, I would love to be able to do a bigger giveaway, like something, you know, like a bigger pattern or a piece of linen or a piece of Aida, or I don't know. Tell me what you want. Is there, something you would love to see in a giveaway? I know designers give their own designs away. I don't have but a couple of them ready right now. So let me know. Or like a thread pack or a bag. What are your thoughts? List those below. So like, subscribe. That'll enter you into any of the giveaways that you might want. Don't say giveaway, because I guess that calls all sorts of crazy people. And we don't need them. So like and subscribe, and we will see you again in May. I only have like 7 weeks of school left, and then a debrief week. So in 2 months, I'm out. So I'll have at least one more video before I get done with school. And hopefully it'll be a lot warmer. And I hope you enjoy your stitching. And we will see you again soon. Take care.